Okay, hey, this is Eric Amati again, board member, Family First Tribe, here with Nina Damjanovic. What's your team name?
Limitless.
Limitless. So this segment is going to be on headhunting, right? So, and to give some context, headhunting is, so we all recruit, right? And there's all kinds of different ways to recruit. So you can mass recruit, you can recruit your friends and family, you can recruit the waiter, it's, your barista at Starbucks, whatever. But headhunting is more about finding people that are already in the industry, typically that already have teams, right? That or agencies, and you want to recruit that person and bring their whole agency on board with you, right? So, what was the first time that you ever did something like that?
When I started FFL, it was probably, my first time was probably in the beginning of this year. So in January, I was kind of uncomfortable with it because I thought, maybe someone with 50 agents wouldn't want to come if they're already making so much money over there. But it's such a better opportunity over here that we just need to share it. So my approach to that, so I'm big on social media with reaching out to people on there. So I basically find a bunch of big dogs with other insurance companies, and I basically just reach out to them. And you actually taught me this. You always say, are you killing it with where you are right now?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So that's my approach, and basically start a custom conversation with them. Like, hey, I see that you're crushing it. You're really sharp, so compliment them, right? You don't want to just come at them hot and just say, hey, like, we have this better over here. It's like, get to know them, get to know their situation, and then see how you can position them in a better situation with FFL.
So what are the things that let's just start from the beginning. So you're going to approach somebody. So you've identified somebody, they're on LinkedIn, and what do? You direct message them, email them?
Direct message them on LinkedIn and just start a super, simple conversation. So let's just say it's Eric, you.
Yeah,
so,
say it's me.
Hey, Eric, I see that you're in the industry. You can see their background on LinkedIn, let's just say. So, hey, I see that you've been with so-and-so company for X amount of years. You look really sharp. Are you crushing it with them?
And I would reply, I sure am.
Awesome. And then basically I would say, have you ever heard about FFL and our high comp structure? And I'll basically just start a conversation with them about FFL. And then from there, I usually send them the overview video. Like it's that simple.
Okay. And then let's say somebody, you at some point they watched the overview video and now they're ready for a conversation, right? And so, because some of them I'm sure, like I've recruited people where like I thought it was going to be a big process and they were just like, dude, I love it. Let's go.
It's
right?
so simple.
Right?
Yeah.
I love those. And then, but sometimes people are like, okay, well, I've been here for 12 years. I really need to can I ask you some questions? Right. So you get on the phone with them.
Absolutely.
And then what are you listening for? Like as you're talking to them?
I always ask them kind of what they're missing. Because obviously if they want to have a conversation with you, they're somewhat interested, right? They see that FFL might be a better opportunity, so they want to ask questions on why or how it's better. So I'm really listening and asking them questions about what they're missing with their current role. Like what do they like? What don't they like? And then I kind of compare that to FFL. So if they say, they don't like that, they're making all this money, but their agents are, well, I'll go ahead and talk about the comp, right? And how their agents would make money. So just pinpointing kind of what they're missing.
So listen for what's missing, compare it to what we have. And then how much of your own experience do you share? Like,
all of it.
All of it.
Yeah, I'll give them my full story. I was in the industry for a few years. I had an agency. I never thought I would leave. But when I was presented FFL, it was a no-brainer.
See, I think what a lot of times when I'm talking to people about recruiting, what a lot of people miss is, where you choose to work and spend your time is a huge significant decision for everybody. And it's emotional. And so sometimes, we can throw logic at them like, hey, our comp's better. Like use a calculator, it's better, right?
Right.
Our leads are better or whatever. And I can prove that logically, and it may not carry the day, right? If I'm not connecting with the person emotionally on what's missing for them.
You have to relate to them. Absolutely. Just relating to them, find out what they're missing, find out what they're looking for, find out where they see their future with their current role or their current company. Because if they say, I could name a list of things that they're looking for, but
like what are the typical things?
A lot of people say equity, that kind of stuff. Like, oh yeah, I was promised this equity in X amount of years. Well, do you have that in writing? Like, have you actually seen that before? Or, what a lot of people just say is like, yeah, I'm making all this money, but I always just go back to their agents. Okay, I understand that you're making a lot of money. How are your agents doing? So I think that's huge. I
agree with you. That's the biggest reason I came over here personally. Yeah. And I think like you especially the bigger team that you have here and anywhere else, the more secure you get. That's why I want my
Absolutely.
people recruiting as quickly as possible if they feel like it, because people that have agencies tend not to leave
Absolutely.
whatever platform they're on, right? Especially one like ours where nothing is missing really,
Right.
that I haven't seen anyway. But so what, with people ask you, so here's a question that I get a lot. Okay, Eric, I hear everything's awesome and everything's great, but obviously there's got to be some catch, right? So what's the, if you, I know nothing's perfect. If you could fix one thing, what would you change?
I always say nothing. I mean, are you a hard worker? You
Yes.
are, then you're going to crush it here. I mean, if you put in the work, our system, I mean, it's not easy. It's just hard work, but it's simple, And another thing is like often, people are going to say no, but no doesn't always mean no. It means not now.
Not yet.
Right?
That's
So, this just happened recently where I talked to someone with over 70 agents, and I talked to him a couple months ago, and he was like, no, I'm perfectly locked in with where I'm at. 3 months, 4 months down the line, he's reaching out to me to get on a Zoom call. So it's just like always staying in front of people, always staying consistent, always posting, always sharing other people's success stories, because they could end up on your team, right? And then like a lot of people, like if someone says no, it's important not to get angry with the person, right? Because when they choose to work with someone, like build a respectful relationship with them. That way, down the line, if they reach out to someone at FFL, they're going to think of you. So I think that's really important.
That's so good. Because it's so natural. I remember when I first started recruiting, it's like, you feel personally rejected, right? You don't want to
Right.
work with me,
Yeah.
but it's not that at all, right?
No, and you're
Yeah.
going to get some no's. People are okay with being okay, and that's okay, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like show them our system, show them, what opportunity they would have if they were to switch over, and if they don't want to, then go on to the next, right?
Right. So what tools do you use to help you stay on top of people that may not have said yes immediately?
Oh, as far as social media and all that.
Or like, do you have a CRM or a spreadsheet or like a list that you keep on a notebook?
You know what? I don't really keep track of that. What I do is just I like to stay in touch and stay connected with people. So I do that just simply by using my social media platform and just posting all the time. It's just a slow drip, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Or I'll put them, if I have their email, I'll get their email when I put them, to watch the Rogue IMO video.
Right.
Then I'll put them into an email drip.
Yep.
And then from there, they're always seeing the emails that go out. And it's just staying in front of them at all times. So
One of the things that I have done that's been really effective is when you're listening to what's missing. So I'm just going to talk about the people that for whatever reason choose not to make a move right now,
Right.
which is, half the conversations I have are like that. That's
Right.
fine. So if you've done a good job if I've done a good job listening and asking questions, I've figured out, okay, well, they want to make more money. They want to move more product. They want to recruit more agents. They're just not satisfied with where they're at right now, but they're not dissatisfied enough with their platform to leave, right?
Right.
Does that make sense? So, hey, Nina, I get it. I totally get it. You're happy where you're at right now. I have loved hanging out with you and talking to you, I'd love to keep in touch with you
Yeah.
and just see how it keep tabs on your career and anything I can do to help. Like, I'd love to be of service to you. Is that cool?
Absolutely. I always say I love making other connections in the industry. So I'm glad we were able to connect. Like, love
Right.
seeing like-minded people do the same thing. Even though we're not with the same company, we could still stay in touch, right?
Yep.
I think that's huge.
The other thing is is something I learned a couple of years ago is that the way you recruit or headhunt a big hitter is different than the way that you recruit, say, somebody without a big track record,
Right.
Somebody without a big track record, a lot of times you can say, hey, look, this is what I expect. This is what we're looking for a good fit, that kind of thing. But in a headhunting conversation, I leave all of that out. Like, I want to create the impression, which is true, that I've already done enough investigation on you to know that you would be an amazing fit.
Right.
Right? You have nothing to prove to me, right? You're awesome. I know you're killing it. Wherever you're at, you'll kill it wherever you go. I just
Always
want to
compliment
always
them.
which is the truth. And I think you and I could make a lot of money together, and I'd love to pitch you on the idea of working together, right? But you have nothing to prove to me. I have everything to prove to you, right? And because it's like people like myself who are big people if you got a call like that, you'd be like, all right, this guy finally
Right.
somebody recognized me, because
Exactly.
we're all starved for recognition.
And I know
Yeah.
you say something to people like, I'm looking for someone to build a multi-million-dollar agency with this year. Would you be interested in learning more?
Right.
It's huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
So one of the things too that I'd like to touch on before we close is you clearly, you have so much confidence and poise. You always have every time I watched your videos. But to step up and try to recruit somebody who, I mean, I'm guessing the first person you recruited with a big team may have even had a bigger team than you did.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you have the confidence how can somebody watching this video who has not had that first conversation like that, how do they get the gumption to step up and actually have a conversation like that?
It's just a matter of doing it, right? I mean, you can watch from the sidelines or you can do it because the best person at FFL isn't even here yet, right? And anyone could do it. It's just a matter of just reaching out to the people. And it doesn't matter if you're brand new or someone that's been here for years and super experienced. It's like you don't know what you don't know, and you just have to share the opportunity that we do have. So
that's awesome. I love working with you. You're great.
So are you.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching the segment.